Well, hello guys. Um, this is the Sofa Pillow Talk, and I am Mister,
And Miss.
and we are the Takeovers, and we have a special conversation tonight.
Mm,
Um,
mm-hmm.
I think it's a conversation that a lot of people wonder about, talk about,
Mm,
sit on,
mm.
stress about. Um, we,
They've
we,
given it a title finally when you break up with somebody and you still stuck on them.
yeah, so tired.
So tired.
So, Ty, so after our intro, we're gonna bring our cousin on because it's a question that she asked on Facebook.
And we gonna talk
We gonna
about
talk
it.
about it. We're gonna talk about it. Talk about it. All right, guys. So this lovely conversation that our cousin brought up on Facebook that she wanted to just talk about it. I want to know why she want to talk about it.
Did you have questions about
You
it?
got a
Your
question about some? So,
experience?
would you experience some ties, girl?
Oh, I have like just even like when I got married, I still had some before my husband. I still had people that I was connected to that
Oh wow.
I didn't really release them until maybe 2 3 years into my marriage,
Okay.
like
Mm,
mentally and like physically. Well, not most of physically, but mentally, I had to like off of like Hercules with the witches tried to cut Hercules' string.
Uh huh.
One of them I had to snip it.
How did you snip it though?
Fasting
Oh, you
from
did what they
them.
call that voodoo.
You did voodoo.
That's what they
No.
call it.
You did voodoo, girl.
No,
Oh, geez.
no, just fasting, staying away, praying, occupying my mind, doing other things.
Right?
Okay.
That's
So
all I really did.
a soul tie is a spiritual link between two people. You might think of it as a physical cord or a tie that connects two people. You can have more than one soul tie throughout your life. Soul ties can also be one sided if the person you feel deeply connected to doesn't reciprocate your feelings. So, were these like actual relationships or situationships?
I don't think it
Both.
matters. I think all of them.
It was both.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say. I think
Yeah.
at this point,
Like
anything
committed,
could.
non-committed,
Yeah.
both.
Anything could create a soul tie, and it
Yeah.
didn't take long.
Okay.
No.
So, I heard you say that this was somewhat kind of even during marriage. You kind of felt this
Hmm.
the ties. Were
Yep.
you able to speak about this with your husband?
Yeah. Of course, he wasn't too happy about it, but he couldn't really get too upset about it because it was before him.
Right, right,
you
right, right.
know so I wasn't acting on those feelings or anything like that, but I know it was there. Like if that person, if we were in a grocery store and I saw that person, I'd probably start sweating, like get anxious, get a little nervous, start acting all
You,
weird. Like
you don't get
it
a
was
little thirsty,
crazy.
do
I don't know.
you?
Maybe you
They-
should have checked to make sure they hadn't done any voodoo on you.
Listen, yeah, so I'm like, whoa. So I knew it wasn't healthy, so I had to cut it off. It was hard. That was a long time. It took a long time, but I did it.
So, is it safe to say that there are probably some proper procedures we should all take when we break up with somebody or leave somebody?
Yeah, everybody needs closure. Like, I wouldn't say ghost them, but have that one-on-one adult conversation. Like, hey, this ain't working.
But do we? Like you just said closure,
Yeah, I'm
right?
gonna say sometimes
Yeah.
culture is
Do we
out of the
need
window.
closure?
Well, I know. Like, I needed to. Like, if I was just to completely stop talking to a person, I'm just gonna wonder. So just like for me, hey, I need to talk to you. So my conscience is at ease.
All right. So, what you saying that was
I'm
any
cutthroat. I'm about like a friend. Once I'm done, I'm done.
uh was any of those situations like did they end on a bad note or they just ended? Like when I say bad
Um,
note, I mean like a verbal or physical abuse type thing?
No, it was just me telling them, hey, this not gonna work for me. It's not healthy.
Okay.
It's not healthy at all.
Okay.
So basically, it was just me choosing, my mental health
Okay.
and being upfront with them because that's how I like people to be upfront with me. Like I don't like to be ghosted. I don't
Okay.
like to be kept in wonderland, wondering like, well, dang, what happened?
Okay.
So I told them what was up, and I'm like, I can't do this. I gotta go. you know.
Okay. So, but you still gain a soul tie because they couldn't give you something, or I mean, give you a better
No,
response. Or
Oh, you're
oh,
frozen.
oh, you froze on us, Lord. We having
So
technical
most of the
difficulties.
time, a soul tie is like this possessive, jealous, codependent connection where
Okay.
you and this person are just like completely intertwined, and you can't really make a move left or right without them, or you're always checking in with them, and vice versa.
Right.
So it could be one of those things where you're like, oh, this is my person I'm meant to be. I know this is toxic. I want to break up with them,
Right.
but you really can't take that, step to say, oh, I need to separate myself from so and so because this isn't going well. And even if you separate from them and you move on to somebody else, get up
Hmm.
under somebody else just to get to a point where you can try and, say, hey, I'm going to move on and get in a relationship with somebody else. And it can be you moved on, you think you're over them, but then, like she says, when she goes places, or people go places, or people avoid going in certain stores because they know, oh, this person works there, and they don't want to evoke or bring up those feelings and emotions again
Right.
because they are tied to that person in some way. There was no resolve in the relationship, or even if it was a hey, we can't be together, but they had been like super sexually connected in such a way that they're just tied to each other.
So,
I mean, normally it's one person that's okay with breaking it off, and then you got that one person who wants to hold on to it and keep it there.
I've seen. I think when you have both sides, I, I think there's more of a toxicity thing going on because both know that they don't need to be
Well, I would say we've created a soul tie in our relationship, and it can be good or bad
right.
depending on how we both mutually feel in the situation. But I do feel like maybe we're more on the healthy side of a soul tie. I definitely would say that breaking out of my last marriage, had I not taken the time to heal myself and get to a better place, then I definitely would have been in a long life soul tie for no reason, or you know, maybe even saying that a part of myself was still left behind because I had to disconnect,
Right.
from that person.
I can
I,
see
I
that.
feel like in marriages we naturally create a soul tie.
Soul
I don't
ties.
think everybody creates one,
So,
but
yeah,
to
yeah,
some
I
degree.
do think that's true too. Because even like in marriage,
Hmm.
I think people are just getting married, and it's
Uh,
almost like, oh no, you're
Oh no, you
good, you're
good.
good, girl. We say
We know
we
how to
still we know how to
improvise and make it
improvise and
work.
wait technical difficulties on the
Yeah.
guest. We
no,
not
but
messed up.
but what I was saying was so the relationship I was in, I want to call it an addiction, but as a kid, when I was going through the stuff what I was going through as a kid, I didn't feel wanted. So when people, especially like relationships,
Hmm.
when they make me feel wanted, like they want me around, you want me to be, you want me to be there. That was the energy I clinged on to.
Hmm.
Stop signs.
I can see
So
that.
yeah.
Um, and I you can kind of and guys, we're talking about soul ties, and I think that sex aspect of it too
Hmm. Hmm.
can be such a strong bind as
Hmm.
well.
Hmm.
Because now more than anything, we associate sex with so much
Right.
from wanting.
feel like sex is just really one of the things that intensifies it.
That's what I mean.
You
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
know,
just
because you
it
can
makes
have a
it.
soul tie with anybody, any kind of relationship,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
sex definitely
it just makes
intensifies
like
it.
that.
And
It
Yeah.
creates that extra duct tape bondage.
is that what it
Uh
is?
huh. Yeah,
Put
the
duct
duct
tape on
tape or
everything.
gorilla glue.
Oh
Right.
no.
Yeah.
And the thing, crazy part about it is like, me and the guy I was like tripping over, sex wasn't even. I could have went without it like for the rest of my life. So it
Right.
wasn't a biggie for me.
Okay.
It was the fact that I was wanted.
Hmm.
Okay. So you
I
get
would get phone calls, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, can you come see me? Well, what you want me to come see? Okay, I'm here. I'm coming.
okay. So now you're not with that person.
No,
That's that's
a long
parenthood.
time ago.
Yeah. But what would you have the wants that he was kind of giving? Were they good wants?
It was. I settled for some stuff, but some stuff I did it was good ones. Just time spent,
Okay.
attention that I
Okay.
wasn't getting at
Yeah, I was
home.
gonna
You
say
know.
that's
Okay.
why it's like she said. The sex was okay. That's a bonus, but
Yeah.
the good morning text,
Right.
Yeah.
Because you
It was
wanted
the
it from
attention
another
from me.
person, but the
Mhm.
fact that you was getting it from that particular person kind
Yeah.
of made it okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
so, and
Yeah.
some
Because
people you pretty much
hmm?
created a soul tie that probably didn't have to be there.
Mm-mm. It didn't.
Okay. So you asking that question because I like this question,
Hmm.
and I think it is a issue that a lot of people come across. But what makes you ask that question?
Um, I don't know. It was just random.
Right. Right.
It was just random. It wasn't didn't really have a motive behind it or anything like that. It was just a random question. And then when I put the post on Facebook, I'm like, am I telling on myself right now? Like, do I got some
It's
soul ties
okay.
that I
At
ain't
least you
dealing with?
had
Yeah,
enough to say, that might have been something I was kind of semi addicted to that I really didn't need to be in.
Right.
Because a
yeah,
lot of people don't know that, they got these baby mamas and baby daddies and
mhm,
relationships in the past that they have not resolved,
I think that's
ain't
why it's so
cleared
easy
nothing
for them to go
up,
back.
and then they are
Like,
constantly letting
yeah,
somebody back
back
in.
in. Yep, yep.
So
You know,
right,
you got that baby daddy keep coming back in. You already in a relationship, and he's sneaking in the window. And
yeah,
uh,
I once I make my mind up and it's done
mhm,
data, I'm
I
done
think,
data.
I think
And
that's
it takes, but it
it
still
takes
takes
take time
time.
before I get to that point.
Well,
yeah,
now the sexual part, I ain't had no problem cutting it off.
That
Now
yeah,
the
right,
emotional part,
it takes a
it
moment.
took me a while to release myself from my ex-husband, and get to the
right,
point where, what, let me take you back to you just a stranger stage. It really took
right,
me digging in and saying, okay, well, what is it that keeps me falling back into this same cycle?
Right.
right,
What is it that I keep desiring that makes me say, oh, this makes me feel good and I can get it from this person that I
right,
need to correct, heal from, and then pick up and say, all right, I can do without.
right.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And actually, this I'm gonna piggyback off of you. So, because this was like 2011, 20, yeah, 2011, 2012. Me and my because we've been together like 12 years, long time. Um, actually, he had actually broke up with me, and that's when I met. Like, I went through it. Delisa, you remember when I got skinny? Like, I was super small in high
Hmm.
school. That was when he broke up with me. I got sick. Like, I was sick. I think I lost like 30 pounds within like a month and a half.
Oh wow.
Like, I was sick because that boy was my thing, not everything, my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
so I got sick, and that's when the other guy came in.
Okay.
So I wasn't fully healed, and then here I go jumping into this because I want somebody to see me. I want somebody to give me some attention.
Right.
Somebody.
Hmm.
And he just happened to be there. And then we hung out, the energy was good, but I was like, this ain't healthy. you know?
Yeah.
And this ain't,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
this ain't it.
So you know what folks miss with
So
that?
it's like kind of like I'm on a date with my new guy, but I'm still thinking about my ex and what we
Yeah,
used to do.
listen, exactly. Yes, and then
Yeah.
Like
I
you
think,
like the person sitting in front of you,
yeah,
but you can hear what they're saying. Oh, they're gonna be okay, cool. Right, I'm gonna get what I need to get out of them for the night, but I got to go get that other thing.
yeah. So
Even if it ain't
that
nothing
I
but picking
think,
up the phone while you go in the bathroom while you're on the date and saying, hey, I just was thinking about you.
Shooting
And
that
God
text.
mhm,
forbid they answer the phone or reply right back. They just really fed right into it. And now
right,
you feel like, okay, I can go back out here to this date and do my thing.
I think
right,
I think my ex wife had that situation with that dude,
Oh yeah.
that tie. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it
Entanglements,
that
affairs.
I mean, you going across town, line
Listen,
leaving work,
I mean, you almost lost how many jobs?
a
And
couple of
had your
jobs.
coworkers coerced in ways for you
Yeah,
to,
like
you know, get with somebody on the low. I mean, you came up with a whole
right,
grand scheme to try
yeah. I
and keep
mean,
one person under wraps.
like
right,
it's crazy.
right. So that like we had stayed broken up for like 8 months. So I like dated him for like 8 months. Like it was quick. Like we broke up and then like got with the guy. But I think while me and him was talking, my husband calls me. Well, he wasn't my husband then, but he called me, Kiri called me, and he said, "Hey, I'm just checking up on you." I'm like,
Oh,
I said,
Okay.
"Hold on a minute." I said, "Mama, Mom." She said, "What, girl?" I said, "Mama, guess who on the phone?" She said, "Who?" I said, "Kira." She said, "Girl, hurry up and go to bed. It's school night." So I'm like a whole cheerleader, excited, like I'm ready. So he said, "I want to give us another try." I'm like, "Okay, bet, let's go." Totally forgot about the other guy. Just gone. Just gone. Totally forgot. So called I called the guy. I was honest. I said, "Hey, I'm gonna get my ex," because we were never committed. Like it was never like, "Hey, I'm your boyfriend, I'm your girlfriend." It was
okay,
just a situation
okay,
Hmm.
type thing. But I wanted more, but he didn't.
okay.
So did that. And me and my husband been rocking since then. That was it. But it took me a minute because we were together 6 years before we got married. So about 6, 7 years to really cut the emotional part out.
Okay. So do you think that kind of blocked the growth with your marriage at the very beginning?
Um, no, because I was ready.
Okay.
I was ready. Like it didn't really cause any problem. I had told him about it, but he didn't. I'm not gonna say he didn't care, but he wasn't phased by it. But I told him that hey, this is what I'm going through.
Right.
I'm dealing with it. I'm not dealing with him, but I'm dealing with the emotional part.
Right.
So I'm gonna need some time. But he respected it.
Okay.
And but that could still somehow take a toll on your relationship
Again.
unknowingly because now you got your new husband. At the end of the day, he kind of like, dang, I kind of gotta try and see if I can feed into whatever
Hmm.
this guy was doing before, and that may not be him or his personality, or he may not be able to say do the things that the other guy was doing, or
Hmm.
reach at you and pull at you emotionally like that to help sever that tie. So, I mean, it can be tough.
Yeah.
Again, I can,
So it was kudos to you for realizing that because
Yeah.
and kudos to him as well, because again, your situation was kind of like my situation, but
Hmm.
my ex-wife actually just took it farther, where she was dealing with him. And so my thing was, I'm like,
full
hey,
blown affair, change your phone number, go back, still doing the same
yeah,
thing, giving out your number again. You
but
know,
I gave her an out. Like,
Hmm.
hey, listen, we're married, and it seems that something's big going on with you and this person. So, how about you take a break? You go find out what it is. We won't get a
Right.
divorce, but you go find out what it is. We separate. If it don't work
Hmm.
out, you come back. We start over. This is how much I cared about him. You
Right.
start over, and if you're end up finding something great in the situation, we get divorced, and you can have at it.
Right.
He didn't want to take it, you know.
Mm.
But then so many months later, start the whole situation all like back over again.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
lot.
8 years of 13 years of being married was that soul tie.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
So I again, like Lisa said, I commend the work, and I don't think people take the time out to do that work or say that, hey, it's me.
Hmm. And it took
Yeah,
a lot to realize that. Like I would tell my husband all the time whenever we did go through stuff, it's really not you, it's me. Like I'm my worst enemy right now. I keep taking my own self through this.
yeah.
Like not you. So, give me that time to deal with it.
Trying to think, did I have any soul? I don't think I. If I did have any soul ties, again, like once I stopped dealing with somebody like
Hmm.
done data, I
But me,
just
it's like the hope. It's like well, maybe it'll get better. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe it get better. I hope it changes. I hope it. I hope. I hope. I hope. But
I can
nah.
see that too, because I did. I think that was my way of breaking minds too. When I got in a relationship, I stood in, even though I knew it was a bad situation. I stood in there long enough to sit and say, "They ain't gonna change."
went.
Yeah.
So I
I
can
I didn't
separate
care
and go
whether
on by my
I
business.
finna say I didn't really care whether or not the person changed or not. Just
What?
leave me alone.
Dang, bro.
Don't bother
But
me, and
what
I
if they
won't bother
change?
you. What if they? I don't care.
What if
We
they?
done. No,
Wow. Mm,
mm-mm.
man, for
I
real?
don't
Oh, yeah.
backtrack. There is not one guy that I have taken back after breaking up with him. No.
I had to
And if you
backtrack.
tell me you breaking up with me and we done, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gone. I'm moving on.
Really?
Mhm. Maybe I don't
Like
have a soul.
Oh my. You ain't got nothing to tie to.
No, it got nothing to tie to.
So you just lied to me. You
I
said we
just like
sold
that.
tie.
Oh yeah, we
See,
married.
oh no,
I
man.
grew a soul when I met you.
That's messed up,
Yeah,
man.
I had to grow one when I met you, cause
Wow.
baby, listen,
Yeah.
soul. Hey, it's a song by Major Nine. Them soul ties I had you messed up. You know,
Yeah.
no,
I tell you,
but,
yeah,
but
we
The
definitely.
fact that you had multiples though, that's
It's some, but this see that have soul ties when you in the bed with multiple people jumping around from person to person.
yeah.
mm,
Oh, pimping ain't easy, and men and women both can be caught up in these situations. Like you may not even be trying,
yeah.
but you just keep spreading yourself thin. Like you attaching yourself,
I
and you
that's the
this
thing.
person is leaving a part of themselves with you every time,
Every
especially
time.
sexually, even
Yep.
mentally, physically, emotionally, over the phone. Like they dropping something into you. They're changing your hormonal chemical responses. People don't
Hmm.
realize how people affect people like in person just because a guy cannot know you from tit for tat,
Right.
but if he walks up to you and says, hey, how you doing, beautiful, to you every single day while you at work, and he don't never do anything extra, that's enough to say, oh darn, he's a really cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And at this point, if it ever stops, if he's done it enough times, you could probably be like, you know what,
Mm.
I really do miss that guy walking by saying, "Hey, beautiful" to me, even though I don't know who he is.
You can
You
hold the
know,
fort
and
down,
it,
bro.
yeah, I can hold it down for a sec,
All right.
unless you want me to take him. Oh, he looks like y'all have to see, but we got our new baby, and he had a we went walking today, so he is tired.
That's true.
He is tired. But yeah, soul ties are definitely dangerous,
Hmm.
painful, and something to watch out for. So if you in a relationship with somebody, you definitely have to pay attention to yourself. Make sure you're healing yourself. Make sure you keeping yourself covered and not falling for the okie doke.
Do you think like soul ties go further than relationships? Like, it can be like your sister, a brother, a cousin, a nephew.
Yeah, it's any relationship. At this point,
Yeah.
it could be somebody who's just a mentor to you. We feed
Hmm.
off of people, human connection. And
Hmm.
having that what we figure emotional or spiritual support on any level, is it can be damaging, especially if
Right.
it's toxic. You can also have positive soul ties with people.
Hmm.
And most of the time you would expect to have a positive soul tie with people that you deal with. Um, them toxic negative ones are the ones that get you in trouble, having you going back doing stuff you ain't got no business doing.
Right.
And they can be extra dangerous, especially if you getting yourself in some kind of trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah,
your
that goes.
friend said she had something to say, or she done chicken all the way out.
Hey guys, y'all want to say anything about soul ties? Come here, Kiki. Y'all want to say
And to say
anything?
what time? It's
Hold
like
on.
it's late. Is it late? Well, no, it's not that late over there. The kid, I finna say the kids still up this late, girl.
Oh yeah. Y'all want to say something? All right. Here's Kiki. Here, she can see you, but it's fine. Go ahead.
I don't believe in it, but yeah,
You don't believe in soul ties?
no, ma'am.
Why not?
Maybe I just ain't had no soul tie with nobody, but I don't believe in it myself.
You don't believe in it yourself? Oh, okay. So, how did you feel when Jessica came to you and said, "I think I might have had a soul tie with a particular person"? So, did that make you feel any type of way, or
No, soon as somebody be like, "Hey, I want to be with you," hey, it's done. I'm done. I'm not doubling back. Ain't none of that. I'm done. And
Well, that don't mean that you haven't had a soul tie, though.
well, I don't speak to nobody that I have relations with
you don't believe in soul ties at all?
Yeah, I
at,
heard.
at all.
Like, so this. So, what
And,
about
and
emotional
I've been married before. My
connections?
first marriage, I ain't have no soul tie. Like zero, zero.
How long were
So
you married?
I was married for like 5 years, and I was like 19 when I got married. So I don't believe it.
If you don't mind me asking, or why did y'all get a divorce?
Oh,
Uh
Uh
oh.
oh.
so as I stated, I was like 19.
Ah,
Too young.
you
Didn't
got
know what
married
you
too
were
I
fast,
was
huh?
doing.
young, yeah, I was young, and
Okay.
and things went left, and yeah,
All right. So you thinking about getting married again?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Um,
It's possible. Some people just feel like this.
and I think soul ties is a title in a
Yeah.
sense, but you, if you're speaking in a sense of the a emotional connection between the two, that is an actual thing. Because once a person finds that person, trust me, it's different. It's different. And then sometimes we get so caught up in not understanding that possible past traumas that we've had, or just maybe not even traumas per se, but just
Mm.
the life that we've lived is has caused us to, like Jessica was like, wanting certain things because she needed it because of her love language, and she wasn't getting it, so it became easier to get attached to anyone that came up and said, "Hey, I'm providing what you want," regardless of you seeing 50 red flags, you know. But it's, I get it, you saying that you don't,
But it's people out here
yeah.
creating like super emotional connections with people to the point that some people feel like they stuck in relationships and can't move on.
I
Or they
mean,
done broke up with
Mm.
somebody and they still stuck or in a cycle where they can't get out of a rut or a routine. Situations where baby mamas and baby daddies keep going back, but they ain't together though.
and they messing up a good thing that they might be having right now and stuff.
Or
Yeah,
backtracking to past relationships, or
yeah.
again on and off with somebody you ain't seen them in years, and then you see them, and then you like, oh okay, and then it's easy for you to just fall back into something. Some people had the willpower to not do it, and some people do, and some people will keep doing it. And they're like, I don't know why I keep doing it. What do you feel like that is? Is since it's not a soul tie, is it just an emotional bond, or
I don't even think it was that. Like, I mean, I love them, but it's just like when somebody be like, "It's done," all right, we done then.
do you stay in long enough for you to be done, or just
Yeah,
like
I stay in long enough, but it's just
okay?
like when we just be like, oh, we done, then we just done.
And see, I
We
think you
talk
like
about
me like that, cause again, I stay in long enough for me to I dot my I's and cross my T's, and cause I haven't a couple of people that I've gone back to those relationships then end in a situation to where they were over. There was just something just happened and we disconnected to a degree.
So in that case, do you feel like you could just go back to them and reopen that or restart that with no problem?
I
hold on.
have.
Somebody start pushing.
Yeah.
I'm back.
On that.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
How
Hold
I
on.
got skipped? Let me see.
Yeah. So well that's a this again, this is a thing
What y'all
where
was over here laughing
people
about? Y'all so
just
rude.
you have to look at self. I don't think we look at self enough
Y'all rude.
to
I don't like
to
y'all.
see that
Y'all cheating already.
it brings up that other issue that people have. Why do I keep getting in relationships with the same type of people?
Mm.
Yeah, it's just the same,
Again,
and it's the
that
people that
emotional
don't. It's
monster
the
that
people that
that
don't deserve it.
yeah, feeding that emotional monster or that oh unhealed trauma sometimes. That I guess that's mainly what makes it more toxic than it has to be 95% of
Hmm.
the time. Because again, if whether it's a soul tie, emotional connection, strong feelings, or legit love, like some people just don't know how to handle it well.
Right.
Right.
Oh.
But yeah, that was me. That's it. I started like um choosing myself, picking myself first,
That's uh,
and that's what kind of shine the light on. Okay, just but this ain't healthy,
Right.
and you know it ain't. So why are you doing it? Like I know what you want. Like I'm a Gemini, so I got a twin up here.
Oh,
you
oh
the evil
Lord,
twin said,
Lord.
do we really
So
need
my
that? Do we need
so my
do we
twin
need
so
to keep
so
up
my
with that?
twin like
Lord.
right. So my twin like just cause you already know why you tripping. Like for real. For real.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, you know what, friend, you right. You right. Let me stop tripping.
Sometimes we have to talk to ourselves
Yeah.
and learn what we like, what we don't like, what's working for us. Why am I emotionally stuck in this same cycle or hole, or why is this constantly happening to me over and over again? So
Right.
it's definitely something to consider. Even if we don't want to call it a soul tie, sometimes them emotional connections be deep,
Very. Yeah.
deep rooted.
Hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of people associate soul ties with like twin flames, especially like if I guess they're not the same, but most people compare the two of
I
them. You know
think
what I'm
the
saying?
twin flames is more on a
The
positive,
twin flame is the
it's
positive
positive side
side to
of
the soul
soul
side.
ties. Cause soul
Hmm.
ties, you rarely hear someone say anything good about a soul tie.
So your twin flame is that soul or that match or mirror of yourself that you're connected to, um,
Right.
emotionally, spiritually, and even physically. You
And
know
I
what I'm
don't think it
saying?
has to be anybody that's like just straight like
It
y'all
could
are
be
so
anybody, and it's
it's like a
another one of those things when
compatibility
you,
type
yeah.
thing, but not that y'all are the same person, you know?
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, if, you have a lot of people that try to date someone that likes damn near everything that they do. You
Yeah.
know,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's funny because we like similar things, but we do have a load of stuff that, yeah, I don't like that.
He got me tied up on ball and chain. That's what it is.
Oh my goodness.
I'm bound. He bound my soul to his, but it ain't vice
It
versa.
ain't vice versa. And
Mm-mm.
every time I say that, they say, "What you talking about, girl? You ain't let go. Let it
Let
go.
go of what?
Let it go.
What,
Let it." Hold on.
what you doing?
Let me get.
Don't be
Let me
trying to
get
put
in.
no. You messing with my mic, man. Come on.
I'm trying to get in the
Uh.
heart right there with the mic
Why you
at.
want to get in my heart?
Girl,
My heart pumps just fine. It do what it gotta do. It
blocking me.
flow in the blood. It do like it needs to.
That's sad that yourself is a blocker.
Self is blocked sometimes. Definitely.
It's just blocking. That's sad.
That's it. I got this natural cut it off line. It's okay.
She telling on herself.
Ooh, how?
I be trying to tell her.
It just is what it is, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And soul ties, they can be hideous. I've seen some people been in some situations where they were just like,
Y'all sound like chipmunks right now.
You sound like a chipmunk.
No,
oh,
like y'all sound like chipmunks. I think it's my headphones. Hold on.
Oh, I don't know.
I
It
was
might
gonna say,
it might be the it might be the audio too.
ain't no telling.
Ain't no telling what
Yeah.
it cause sometimes
Oh.
StreamYard they make me sound like a little
Uh,
deep voice monster
oh,
sometimes. And so
Yeah.
oh, I heard it in the Yeah, it's happening.
And it still sound like chipmunks.
oops.
Yep,
I don't know.
See that? That's what you get for touching me.
Stop,
You
bro.
messed it up.
That ain't got
See
we
there?
still sound like chipmunk.
Yeah, yes, you sound like chipmunks.
He did it. Uh-huh.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and call this a night, then.
Okay, go ahead.
But we definitely uh invite you on some other stuff. You know, so if you like to,
I like chatting with you. That's
yeah,
yeah.
and you have good
Yeah, we should do this
point
more
of views and
often.
stuff. So I don't think you heard. Did you hear? Because we sound like chipmunks.
Yeah, y'all sound like the female group.
Oh God, I gotta go now. Oh man, no. Hold on. Well, guys, if the podcast ends up sounding like chipmunks, we do apologize. But
We don't. It is what it is.
you know you like chipmunks, so y'all probably the age of used to watch the chipmunks. Alvin. So yeah. So if you are listening to this audio version of the Pillow Talk, definitely go ahead and find us on YouTube as well because
Like,
like
comment, and subscribe. If you got any topics you want to come on the show, hit us up. Do we have an email for this podcast?
the Sofa Real Talk at
The sofa real
gmail.com.
talk at gmail.com. Email us your questions, comments, concerns. Got any shows you want us to be on or anything like that? Catch us on IG at Mr. and Mrs. Take Over the World. YouTube, The Sofa Pillow Talk, the podcast. The Sofa is Real Talk or Pillow Talk on the podcast.
Pillow Talk.
The Sofa Pillow Talk. So
Hmm.
nobody gossips more than a husband and wife ready to go to bed.
Yeah, because
So,
if you can see us right now, we in the bed
yeah.
on some pillows. On
Mhm.
some pillows.
And
Sounding
probably
like chipmunks.
we're probably finna talk about something else.
Hmm. Until next time, guys.